So I made a video based off of previous CPI data reports before the new one was released, and a lot of people appreciated being able to look back to every other CPI data report and how the market reacted in preparation for the new one to come. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing. I'm going to be looking back at every previous FOMC rate hike that we have seen in 2022. And seeing how the market reacted so we can better prepare for tomorrow. For those that are unaware, my name is Ricky. I have this free YouTube channel here, and my main focus is making you aware of these economic reports that are being released on a weekly basis. I hope that you learned something new, and if you do, let's try to get this video to over 2,000 likes, and I would love to host the live stream tomorrow for free on this YouTube channel for the Federal Reserve FOMC rate hike at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll leave it up to you guys. Hope that you guys can destroy that like button. But without further ado, let me go ahead and get into today's video. One of the first things that I want to talk about is quickly recapping my trade. Just like I said, I was going to lock in profits on TQQQ. I left myself with my one lucky share. $6,171.89 is what I made. This was following up with my day yesterday in SQQQ. Yesterday, I recapped my SQQQ trade. Feel free to watch yesterday's video. I made a little bit over $24,500 shorting the NASDAQ market by being able to go into SQQQ. And again, I only have one lucky share and I didn't trade SQQQ today. So overall, just $6,000 on the day. Preparing for tomorrow. That's all I've been talking about with my Learn Plan Profit team. So without further ado, let's go ahead and go back to every previous interest rate hike from the Federal Reserve. I found these dates through Forbes. And the first one that's most recent is on December 14th, 2022, and it was a half a basis point. So it's very easy to actually be able to go back. So that's going to be December 14th. Let me go ahead and go back very quickly so we can go here, and then we're going to be able to zoom in back here. So we have the 14th here. One of the things that you have to understand is that every interest rate hike is normally at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So normally the stock market is still open during these trading hours, right? So when these rate hikes are released, the stock market is open and the market does react, which is why it makes it so fun to host those live streams. So again, I am planning and hosting those live streams. So one of the things that we initially saw when this was happening is the market actually went up. This is 2 p.m. Eastern time. You can see that it says 14, right? So 14 being, again, Eastern time, that means that it's 2 hours past 12. So that puts us at 2 p.m. We initially went up, and then we actually reacted in a negative way, sold off, and then followed off with a sell-off again. But 290 is relatively at a resistance range for the NASDAQ market. So if you take a step back on the day chart, you can see overall lows and overall highs, right? Lows of 250, 260, highs of 290 and 300, right? So just understand that range of support and resistance that we've experienced for the past couple of months. Going back to that 30-minute time frame, the next rate hike is going to be on November 2nd. Now, this is where it gets pretty interesting. So let me go ahead and go back to November 2nd. Let me just double check. Yeah, November 2nd. So we're going to go here. And as you guys can see, so this is November 2nd. We can see that at 14, 14 market reacted originally in a positive way. So again, we're seeing a positive reaction. This is after a 0.75 of a basis points of an interest rate hike. And then guess what happened? Again, what normally happens is the interest rate hike happens at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, begins to speak. He begins to give some guidance on how they came up with that rate hike, and then he also begins to answer some questions. So what we've seen in 2 interest rate hikes in a row, the market reacts in a positive way, and then it ends up selling off. Good to know, right? So again, just the mental note. September 21st. Let's go ahead and head on over to September. Let's go ahead and go back. So let me just make sure. Yep, September 21st. So it's going to be right here. And at 2 p.m. Eastern time, just making sure, right? So market originally reacted in a negative way, pops up, and then ends up selling off. So we do see a positive reaction. It's short-lived, and then it actually ends up selling off, right? So again, twice we have seen the market react first in a positive way, and then in a negative way, and ultimately ends up lower than where it actually opened at. So now this is 3 times that we're actually seeing this. Now going into July 27th, Let's go ahead and go back to the month of July. Here we go. So there's August. So this is going to be July 27th. So here we go. 2 p.m. Eastern time. Is this it? Yep, we have August there. So we have July 27th. Yep, it's going to be right here. So yeah, it's 2 hours after the market opened. This one actually reacted in a positive way. So we actually saw a nice gap up and it continued to rally. It did pull back a little bit, but still reacted in a positive way even after Jerome Powell continued to speak. So that's going to be July 27th. Let's go to June 16th. So June 16th, let's go ahead and go back to that date. Here we go. So we got July and then let's do June 16th. So here we go. So June 16th, it looks like we originally reacted in a negative way and then it tried to recover after market hours. But again, one thing to take into consideration is we're already at lows of 267, so we're a little bit more on the oversold side. So it looks like, again, market reacted in a negative way initially, and then it tried to recover shortly after. And this is a 0.75 of a basis points for an interest rate hike. So something to take into consideration. All right, and then one of the last ones that I want to talk about is just going to be May, right? So we got May. Let's go ahead and check this real quick. We got May 5th. Here we go. So it looks like the day before there was, that has to be a CPI data report. And then at 14, market reacted in a negative way, ended up selling off. So more often than not, based off of the previous interest rate hikes, we can see that even if it does rally, it's a short-lived catalyst. There's only been once, right? And that was in the month of June that it actually reacted in a positive way and ended in a positive way. So I think that's something to take into consideration. So now with this up and coming interest rate hike, what's market expectation? Market expects the Federal Reserve to only raise interest rates by 1/4 of a basis points, which is going to be half of what they've done last time and 1/3 of what they did 2 months prior at the full 0.75% of an interest rate hike. So again, at the end of the day, one of the things that we always talk about is our job is not to prepare. Our job is not to predict the future. Our job is simply to prepare for it. If you're trying to predict and hope for the market to go one specific way, just know that you'll most likely end up you have a 50-50 chance of being right or wrong, right? If you wait for the market to actually react, then at least you can trade accordingly, right? I think that's one of the most important things is that you put yourself in a position in which you can tolerate. And again, we're going to be making sure that we capture all of this in the live session tomorrow for that FOMC interest rate hike. And again, that's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And I would be more than happy to host that live stream. All I literally ask you to do is to make sure you smash that like button, get this video to over 2,000 likes. I just want to make sure enough people show up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and I will take care of the rest. I'll most likely go live, 15, 20 minutes before the live actually begins, and we'll go from there. Okay, looks like one of my alarms is going off. So I'm going to leave it up, leave it there. If you guys have any questions, you guys know exactly how to reach out to me. Feel free to send me a direct message via Discord or via Instagram, and that's the first or third link down below. If you guys want to be able to watch me trade live every day, that's that second link in the description, and we're running our biggest sale, which is $150 off. Appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.